This is Nitro. It's a template for Google Sheets plus Looker Studio. What it does is basically it speeds up the process of using the official Google Analytics extension for Google Sheets. And it comes with a ton of predefined settings. And the way you use it, you go to jnitro.com. That will take you to this page. And in this page, you have two options. You can start playing with the demo data of the dashboard. That's how it will start showing you. Or you can go to the template. When you click here, what you're going to see is this. Then you can click make a copy, and then you will see a copy of the Google Sheets. But let's first explore what we will get by downloading this data. First of all, the data that fits into one Google Sheets, one file, is pretty small. So we have to make concessions, and we need to download 12 months at a time, 1 year at a time. So you can change the date. Here you change the start date, it will automatically change the end date. Let me zoom in a little bit. So which are the steps? I will not do it right now, but just an overview. You copy your Google Analytics. Let's do it. You copy any URL from the Google Analytics you want to download. Okay, so let's go with this. Right. If you want to change the date, it's all right. Double click, you can change the date. That's the year previous to when the free version of GA3 stopped working. So this is 1 year before the middle of the last year. Okay, you paste it here, and next step, you use the GA3, not the GA4, the GA3 plugin, and you click Run Reports. Okay. That will run for, depending on the size of your site, for 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and downloading all the 192 different tabs. Okay. Then you copy the URL of this sheet here, and that's it. That's all done. What you're going to do now is use the dashboard. You click here, and then it will open to copy the dashboard already using this data that was downloaded. And to make things simpler, you can open your GA in the same date and start comparing the data. Okay, so review, copy paste your GA URL, change the date, optional. Click run. Wait 20 minutes, 15 minutes. Copy the URL of this sheet here. Okay. When you make a copy, it's a good thing for you to also change the name of the file to keep things organized. Okay. You change the name of the file. Then you click open Looker Studio. So I'll click open here, and that will load for 10 seconds, maybe. While it's doing its thing, it's importing the data from this Google Sheet into the template using Looker Studio API. Let's explore what we will get. Okay. So here we are looking at a month of data from this Google Analytics here. Like, I'm authorized to share this data. Okay. So let's compare, for example, the numbers are in the chart. 4,000. Let's zoom in. 4,847. Same. So the numbers, they match. That's the point. Sessions, bounce rate. This site doesn't have e-commerce. The demo data site doesn't have e-commerce. If you have e-commerce, you will get data here. So bounce rate matches. So things usually matches exactly the same. Let's look into source medium. The column user, due to the limitations to the API, it's not possible to export properly. So in the chart, summarize it, it works. On table, it doesn't work. So nobody can really calculate that on the fly without the raw data, okay? And the raw data doesn't fit Google Sheets. So new users, sessions, average session. You can click and it will change the chart. You can change the metric you want in the chart. You can filter. By the way, I didn't say, but all this is free, okay? No strings attached, no gotcha, nothing hidden here. It's a free tool I'm giving to the community, okay? Organic, you can filter, it will show up. Go back to, let's look at the pages. Back to the chart, same number. Let's filter that. Okay. That. That's a good comment for me to show how easy it is to add it. Here, Looker Studio tried to be smart and converted something that looked like a URL into a URL, and I don't want it to be a URL. I want it to be clickable. And then publish. Let's go back into view. And now I can click it and you will filter. And I can check like 65, 49 seconds, 49 seconds. Images. And I'm going to, many of the advanced guys are probably like breaking out how is it possible to match and fit into Google Sheets, and I will show you in a bit. Okay, just show you some more reports. You got landing pages too. You got event category. Let's look into events. Oh, I data application and it's reloading the data. But that's okay. Well, it's reloading. Remember I said click here and it's going to open the template. look how it's different from the one I'm seeing. The one I'm seeing, because it's mine, I can add it, but demo data for most people will not be possible to add it, just view. And here you have this different thing, edit and share. That's how you create a new Looker Studio dashboard based on a template together with your data. So your data, by using all this, is just Google Tools basic, like no third party. Your data doesn't come to me. I don't not even know you're using this tool. This is simply a Google Sheets file and a Looker Studio template. And so none of your data leaves Google, okay? So this is how you create a copy of this. You click edit and share, because so far, just by clicking here, you are just previewing the template. You're not really making a copy of the template and will have the dashboard. You need to have the dashboard, okay? For you to have the dashboard, you need to click edit and share and just save. And now it will create a copy of the dashboard for you. And now you're on this dashboard. Okay, you can do anything with it. For example, you drag and the day. It's the date. And you can edit anything. Okay, all for free. Okay, back to the event category. Not many events, action. You can also change the metrics. We have a total and a subtotal. It's now a standard, and you can filter for something. In this case, is not a good example, but for example, if you filter for something, the total stays the total, and the subtotal, which is filtered, appears side by side. Product performance. The site doesn't say anything, but it was using the lists. So detected products with views and clicks, but no purchase. But you have products. If you have sales, that will match as well. If you don't sell anything, like this site, here's a nice trick. How to download goals. That's a challenge because the API just give you an ID, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And in the configuration of the web interface, here you set what is the name for that goal, right? So let's do a trick. Let's sort that by ID. Let's copy that. Let's paste it in here. Let's copy that again. Let's go to get goal names and paste values only. There you have it, a backup of the definitions of your goals, and that will show up inside the goals report, okay? How to analyze goals. We have by source all the 20 goals, even premium, even 360 customers, even who the multinationals that pay Google, they only are able to use 20 goals. So here are all the 20 goals, split into 3 parts, okay, for each source medium and also for the campaigns. You can customize it, you can edit it, you can change the name. Let's say, okay, I know my goal 1 is ver o resultado de busca. That means saw the result of a search. Okay, so goal 1, result of a search. Let's customize it. Not in the main template, but in the template we downloaded. Okay. So let's change that here. Let's say its name is search result you whatever. And you can adjust that. And you don't need to deal with goal 1, 2, 3 anymore. Okay? Just give it the pretty name. So, how is that possible? What we are doing here? Basically, we are doing the same thing Google does with the other. Remember, other? For example, well, let's look into visible here are just the result tables. If you want to see all the given labels or the source medium, just the sum of all data downloaded, it's available here into source medium ls of Looker Studio. Okay, and you have all the data that is being used by Looker Studio. By the way, this all the data I showed works the same for one entire year. It's not just 1 month. It even loads faster than GA. When you try to load the same thing in GA, it loads slower and it shows the same number. It's funny. Okay, how is that possible? That's all the data that is backing the Looker Studio. And how was that data downloaded in pieces and put together with lots of complicated formulas? Okay, I'll not even try to explain how things work here. So have fun reverse engineering it, but that's basic it. You choose the date range. When you choose the date range, it automatically calculates the dates here, okay, and which one will be queried. And if you try to mess up with the dates and it's not going to work, and then it's just going to skip, it falls back to doesn't download anything, and you need to read the instructions again to be able to use it. Tons of tabs hidden here. Let me show you one. Let's go for source medium, for example. That's the raw data that was downloaded. And one tip here for the ones that use this plugin a lot, if you recreate the tabs with just like 15 columns or 15 rows, just a small tab, and you duplicate these tabs. I used a lot of apps script to create this, to automate lots of things. For example, hiding all these tabs. Yeah, app script. For those who don't know what app script is, so I'm not using app script here. All this tool is just based on queries. Okay. But for me to create this, I used a lot of AppScript. So AppScript is using JavaScript to automate things. For example, I want to hide all these tabs that ends with number. I'm not going to do this 192 times. So Gemini plus ChatGPT, paid versions of it, can get you very far. It's a good thing also to talk about how to do similarly with J4. So as Phil talked, last year launched J4 Classic Mode. That is basically the same thing for J4. So you'll get the same data, and I will probably launch a version that will, if you download this data, if you download your data, okay, if you have this file with your data downloaded, probably I will eventually launch a version, extension that will allow you to modify this thing here, or this thing here, and that will create a new dashboard that you can join your J3 data with your J4 data, because that's what Google should have done. Basically, it makes no sense. Most of the data are the same: products, pages, search medium, campaign, landing page, and it's totally doable. Okay. So my tip is go to this page, subscribe to the newsletter, and you will know if I launch it. Okay. But I'll probably be launching updates to this. I want to try to fit more data. I'm really restricted by data. I wish I could have put way more data here, but it's very limited by Google Sheets size. For you to have an idea, I cleaned the format because it allowed me to save more data. So formatting uses a space, and then you hit the limitation, the limit of size of how much data you can put in here way faster. So by don't having formatting in most of the sheets allow me to save more data. Do you have questions, Phil? Want to? I can go on, but if people have questions, if they have.
Andre, yes, we've got there's one question in the chat, actually a couple of questions in the chat. So Dragos asked, does the backup with Google Sheets include annotations data or any automatic solutions for backup annotations?
Yeah, annotations are not available on the API, so unfortunately I cannot do anything about it. Okay. I depend on the API. I depend on what is possible to do with this. So basically, what you can check is Dimension Explorer, and that's an interesting thing, because you can, if you're an advanced user, there's nothing stopping you from coming here into the definitions, right? So don't change this. This is automatically done based on formulas, okay? Where you want to change is here. ConfigOnce ConfigMonthlyBase. ConfigOnce will be downloaded for a period, for the entire period. For example, overview. Let me zoom in. And you need to download it just once, the totals, you add it here. So you basically come to this, search the metric you want, and you create a new or change one of this. If it doesn't fit, create a new Google Sheet file and mess with it. So make a copy that is safe. Don't mess with this copy. Make another copy, mess with it. Okay, have fun with it. And this is where on the monthly base, when you create something here, don't fill this, the green, you fill this, and that will get automatically repeated here for each month. Okay, that's how it works. Other questions?
Yeah, so Rodrigo asked, any tips how to set the configurations for custom dimensions?
That was the answer.
Okay. Oh, I see. Oops, sorry.
Yeah. No problem. I answered before. He asked it, and I
Okay.
after he asked it, without knowing, I answered.
Okay, cool. Is it possible to merge 2 years of data into one dashboard? Oh, so it means, I think he means 2 separate GA3 profiles.
Better. I'm really eagerly trying to do it, but I'm fighting Google Sheets. Okay.
Is there a date range limit to the backup tool? For example, can I use January 2022 to date?
Yeah, no limits. I have a GA account for AndreMafei.com that goes back way to 2006. And all the metrics here are the same. So nothing stopping you from downloading 18 different Google Sheet files with 18 years of data. Should work. One thing an advanced user can try is disable some of the results. For example, let's say we want source medium for 5 years, just source medium, okay? And we skip all the other reports, or we modify this to use all the space that's being used by the other reports for just source medium. And that way we can fit several years of data, okay? And you can also customize the dashboard to then show several years of data. So it is doable. You can hack a lot with that.
Okay, and sorry, this question has not been covered already, Andre, but so in terms of like sampling, does it if it's like a 2-year date period, does it split it into batches to get around sampling?
Great question. When you come here to if you go into the network and then you reload and Command F and you search for cubes, just cube, and you get this data. Oh. Put it here, cube. You can look into, you can copy this JSON and beautify it, but what you're going to find is 70, 90 cubes. For those who understand database engineering, cubes are pre-calculated metrics to speed up reporting. And so what I did basically was I found the combinations of metrics that are very unlikely to hit sampling, okay, and carried it the max size without hitting sampling. That's how my numbers match perfectly, because I've studied the internals of Google Analytics.
So Andre, so in basically in simple terms, so as with GA3 classic mode, where you basically did what Google should have done and used their own tool to build an interface to make GA4 look like GA3, here you use their own tool, i.e. Google Sheets plugin, to get the data out of GA3, and then used a similar version of your GA classic mode interface on top of that.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, maybe Google should hire you.
Yeah. Yeah. You keep getting people saying you did what Google should have done, and that's unfortunate. I wish Google had done something like this.
Yeah, and great words. It's great that you're giving away the template. I've put your LinkedIn profile into chat, so if people want to kind of ask you more detailed questions, they can connect with you and send you a link on that, or I'll put the link to your explainer page. That's the Medium one into chat. The in terms of the recordings of this, and I think Andre, it maybe needs more time to kind of explain a video, maybe in more detail, or even I think in the past, like Fred Pike did a little explainer video for Ben Kuhn's tool. Maybe might be worth possibly if one of those help videos explains the tool for people who want to kind of watch it again. The recording for this will be available on our YouTube channel in about a week's time. We're doing them in 2 weekly batches, so people will be able to kind of rewatch it on there, and we can link to any explainer videos on there. If you liked Andre's tool and you've got feedback for him, I've just put a link to the speaker chat.
About the feedback, if people could send feedback about which reports they wish was in here and it isn't, I can switch. I cannot put everything in here, but I can switch. And also, if they think it's interesting for me to record, well, I don't know, 1 hour really going deep into how these things work, if they think that's useful, send in the feedback or contact me. I may record something more technical.
Okay, I mean, the feedback form has a section for other. So if people want to put like a feature request in the other section there, we can relay that through to you, Andre. There was one other last question. Someone asked, so Alina asked, how can they send you a donation for this valuable resource?
You can buy a license of GA4 Classic Mode. GA4 Classic Mode, you can use it for free. You just need to select your GA and it just works. You just type ga4classicmode.com and it will get you here. And you can buy a license of this to customize it. And that would be really appreciated.
Okay, I think I've just found that link and put it into chat. Okay, great. Thank you so much for that, Andre, and appreciate the time you spent in terms of building both this tool and also the GA Classic Mode tool. I think very useful kind of resource for agencies and clients.